Yo, what's up, everybody? I believe you're all doing great. And today is another day where I continue with a discussion on the mystic concept when we hear Finland needs foreign talents. But before I jump to discussion, I think I must put this very clear that I'm not here speaking for anybody. I'm not here speaking for any organization. I'm not speaking for the Finnish government. I'm not speaking for the Finnish community. I'm not speaking for the foreign community in Finland. I'm not speaking for Africa. I'm not speaking for anyone. I'm here expressing my opinion. All right, I hope you understand that. Yeah, I'm expressing my opinion. And when I say expressing my opinion, I don't mean that now I'm just carelessly bringing up anything which is coming to my head. I've actually done my research, I've done my exercises. And of course, some of the information may contradict what you believe, may contradict, of course, what is being reported over there. And I clearly understand. My biggest interest is to raise a concern for discussion, just to, make discussion a center. At the moment, I believe I would say most of the communities have been living in the bubbles with information circulating only between themselves. And so at some point when we have the tension between some communities or between some classes or between some categories of people, if we don't have conversation, then these tensions will keep on being there, if not magnifying. So at some point, there has to be a source for conversation, and this is what I'm interested in. So I'm interested in putting on a particular subject, putting on a particular topic, and then I'm hoping to engage into some conversation which may lead to some solutions, which may lead to some more understanding about things like that. Of course, I'm really being careful not to bring up conversation which may incite hate, may incite violence, or violate some people's rights. And if it happens that you sense that maybe my conversation somehow may incite violence or hate or something like that, please do not hesitate to let me know. I hope you understand. Yeah, so that's clearly not where I'm going, but I'm more focused on creating conversations which should lead to people understanding each other. And after understanding each other, I believe we will then start to appreciate each other even more. So let's go back to the topic. First of all, I've heard some people commenting like, Finland does not care for foreign talents, and we have reached to the moment where some of the international talents have been migrating outside of Finland. They are going to other countries like Canada or US, something like that, because of course there are more job opportunities over there, but also maybe the governments from other countries, they show more care to the talents. Well, what I have learned is this, that first of all, Finland has always needed international talents from the very beginning, and now is no exception. And what I can say, even this time where we call it the recession time for Finland, is the time when Finland needs international talents the most. And I understand, of course, what is being shown now might be different to what I'm speaking, but maybe with time I will be able to break it down for you. So let's hope that I will stay on the course, and eventually maybe I will have to break it down for you. But let's go back to the beginning. And where is the beginning? I actually had some discussions with some of my friends. Of course, most of them, they are coming from Tanzania, and some of them have come to Finland since 2007, 2008, and some even before that. And according to their reports, is that for example, back in 2007 to 8, Finland used to pay almost everything to international talents coming to Finland. So they would pay fees for you, they would pay the rent for you, they would buy food for you, they would make sure you are accommodated. So you would come here absolutely free of charge without incurring any expenses. So that can tell how much Finland needed international talent. And I understand, of course, some of the people that would say, but what happens after that? And I can give you also another question, that would anybody in this world incur expenses, incur cost to something which he only ends up disposing it somewhere? Would anybody do that willingly, intentionally? I think we can all agree that that person who can spend money on something only to dispose it is either mad or doesn't have the the normal thinking, something like that. But we would not categorize that person as a normal person. So when Finland has spent this amount of money to people, it is obvious that Finland has had some expectations from these people. Do you understand what I'm saying? Even in recent years, myself, when I came to Finland, I had not paid any school fees. I had not paid any school fees. And beside that, I was receiving the 500 euros as a grant to help me with accommodation and other things. Would you tell me Finland would do this to me without having any expectation from me? Definitely Finland had expectation from me. But what happens is that first of all, I would go back to the attitude which I also expressed in the previous video, that, for us as foreigners, now I would speak mostly for me and those people I know, and of course maybe Africans, because I'm an African and we kind of share some attitudes. So when we come here, first of all, we come with an attitude that, Finland is an expat country. Expat country meaning they have everything laid up. So we are here only to be asked to do something. You come only to people who know what they are already doing. And one thing which I must make it clear, I also mentioned in the previous video, most of the people who are come to Finland, they are extremely talented people. They are very talented people. But it's the mindset which can make somebody behave in a particular way. It's the mindset. When you go into somebody's home, the mindset can tell you, this is not my home. So definitely, even if something has not been put well, I should not just go and correct it, because this is not my home. If it was in your home, probably you would have done something. So that's one of the mindset. When you come to Finland, you are like, well, but this Finland is not my home. Probably I should not make a first step. Maybe I should wait to be asked by somebody to take a particular action. So I would say that is the mentality of majority of the talents who come here. They come, they study. After that, we are waiting and hoping somebody, the expert, would come and tell us, please do this and this and that. But on the other way, Finland has invited you not as a student, not as a worker. Finland has invited you as a talent, as an expert. Of course, they understand that you must first go to school. And actually this, I would say, is one of the highest form of respect you can get from anybody, when you are being treated as a talent, even before you are actually an expert in anything. Finland, they would address that we are welcoming international talents. They would not say we are welcoming international workers or laborers, something like that. You are being addressed as a talent, and you must know, as a talent, there is an expectation. When people call you to their home or call you to their workplaces as an expert to help sorting something, the expectation is that you should take a lead role. You should know what you're supposed to do, and maybe tell them if you need a particular resource in a particular manner that an expert or a talent should behave. Yes, but on the other way, like I said before, now we come here and we behave. We behave as people who are just beginners, as people who are, have no idea what's going on. Of course, we have the talent, we are ready. I'm ready, I got all the gears, but I need somebody to give me instructions on what to do. That is the mentality that people have. So what happens that now in the middle, there is a gap. There is a gap because now both sides have expectations. The Finland side says, we invited the talents. Their talents, they are supposed to analyze the situation and come up with solutions and maybe tell us what to do. And I believe this goes also in the same context with Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs says, it would be foolish if you would hire experts and then tell them what to do. This is what comes from Steve Jobs. I saw it in one of his interviews. And so I believe Finland also goes the same way. They are bringing talents, and then they would not tell you as talents what to do, but they would hope, because you are experts, because you are talents, you should be able to figure out what to do and help out the society. That's what I've realized. Yeah, but on the other side, as international talents, we have the expectations that, of course, we are guests into this country. You Finnish people are the host. You are supposed to tell us what to do, because in other places, when you go into somebody's home, the host is supposed to tell you what to do, even if you have been an architect, even if you know about the house very well. But as long as it belongs to somebody else, you just don't go and start doing things. You wait and being told what to do. So that's the other side. So what we miss here in the middle is the conversation. Like, okay, what do you want? And what do you want? What did you think before? What were your expectations? And how do we come together to make this a conversation? And let me not make this a very long conversation, but in short is that most, I would say, over 90% of foreigners in Finland, I would say they are greatly talented and they could add a lot of value to the society. But they are not doing anything because of the mindset which says we cannot do anything unless we are being called to do that. And one of the ways of being called is through employment. Give me a job and I will show you how much I can do. But on the other side, we have the Finnish community or the Finnish government or something like that, which says, we brought you here to our country as talents and experts. Please figure out what you can do for us and do it. And that's why they would spend every penny, every cent that they have on you. So what happens now, actually? What happens is that I believe now, we are different. There are some people who can be very tolerant to some situation. There are some people who can only give you 1 or 2 chances. And I believe maybe the previous government was somehow tolerant because we can ask ourselves, since maybe back then when Finland started to receive international talents and paying everything for them, what has the international talents, or what have the international talents really done for Finland? Is there anything that we can say, this is much that the foreign talents have done for Finland? Is there anything which we can really point to that? I have not done any deep study, so I cannot really say how much has been done. I believe many people are not very active in social media, so even if I check on YouTube or something like that, I don't know, I'm not able to tell how much foreign talents have done for Finland. But what I can assume from my position is that not so much has been done. And this is why some of the people who come to the government and they are not very much tolerant, they would say, we have spent so much on these people, but we don't see any returns on the table. Why should we continue to spend money on these people? Please, let us cut the funding. And even now when Finland is struggling to pay its debts, some of the places which they decide or they might decide to cut off the funding is this money which before was being channeled to help the international talents adapt in Finland in order to, adapt and learn and everything and, later on maybe contribute if there is any possibility. But now they were saying, we haven't seen any return from this side. Let us cut the funding on this side and let us channel it where it counts the most. I believe this is why we are where we are now. So again, my call is that as foreign talents who have been invited to Finland, one of our main duties should be to think ahead of time. What are the things that we could have done for Finland, even if it has not existed before? It doesn't mean we should come here and develop what is in here. One of our biggest assignments is to create the new things, the new initiatives, the new projects, new businesses. Let us think together, what value can you give to the Finnish society? Because that, I believe, is the primary reason that they had opened the door for us to come here. And we have that capability. We have that capability. And of course, if you might want to learn more, engage more in this conversation, I already mentioned from January 10th, I'm expecting to launch this collaborative coaching program that I will feature different coaches, different mentors, different trainers to come into the same platform and speak to the international talents on how can we provide value to the Finnish society. How can we do that? So stay tuned for more updates. Make sure you continue to follow this page. Make sure you share with a friend and make sure you find a way to develop value and contribute to the Finnish society. Thank you so much and bye-bye.